While scrolling through Netflix, I came across this little show. You may have heard of it. Locke and Key. And if you just thought to yourself, oh, I love that show, I hate you. Why, you might ask? Because you didn't recommend me this show sooner. Some of my friends, I know with 100% certainty, have seen this show, but not one had the common courtesy to recommend me this absolute beautiful specimen. Now, I will forgive you all, because I have seen it now, but just knowing that I could have gone my entire life without once seeing this show really upsets me. But I remember seeing this show when it came out, and at first I was pretty interested, but I never ended up actually watching the show. So when I seen this come up again in my Netflix recommended, I said, why not? I'll give it a watch. My brother in Christ, I was hooked. I think I started this show, like a week and a half ago, if even, and I'm finished. There's 3 seasons. 10 episodes per season, 40 plus minutes each, and I'm done. And now I'm empty. I don't know what to do with my life. Everything about this show was just me. I loved it. Like, it tickled every single fancy I have in my body. You have the mystery there. So I was trying to solve the mystery of what the fuck is going on throughout the entire show. And then you have like the coolness and the fantasy of just like going to a house that you've inherited and finding out that it has magical objects in it. In this case, keys. It like just tapped into like my childhood like fantasies. Like, this is something that I would have loved to have when I was a kid. If you haven't seen the show, I will be talking about spoilers, and usually I'm like, if you don't care, keep watching. But if you don't care and you are thinking about watching this show, believe me, you don't want it spoiled on you. The twists are great, and some of the things that they've done in this show, I couldn't believe that they actually done and went that far. The first thing that I remember grabbing my testicles like a fucking vice in this show was when they go into the mirror. Like, just watching them walk through the mirror and then being trapped in there as well, and just the creepy fucking reflections that are just like egging you on to come in. It's so fucking weird. But like, that in and of itself is cool, and like the little prison area where like it's just like a house of mirrors type of thing is really cool too. What hooked me was when after they left the mirror, the mother just completely forgot about the fact that they done it. While the kids are looking at her like, what the fuck? We were literally just in like a mirror dimension. Why are you acting like talking about the mirror being dirty all of a sudden? When I seen that, my heart lit up. I love me a good old mystery. So my mind went fucking rampant. And then that led on to the whole mystery of the keys themselves, and the kids finding out that their father used to mess with these things all the time. And obviously, the father grew up in that house as well, along with their uncle Duncan. But Duncan can't remember magic either. So then it is revealed that the adult can't remember, which fucking sucks. What if magic happened when I was younger and I can't remember it? And obviously at the start of the show, we see them move to this house because their ma thinks that they should have a, fresh start after the death of their father. And when I first saw that, I was like, that's actually a really good premise to start the show, a death of a loved one. They move into this like family home and then they find out a lot of mysteries. That's pretty cool. Little did I fucking know that the father's death had to do with the keys. And even just like the death of their father in general. The scene that like shows the death of their father, him getting shot, is fucking heartbreaking, man. Shows him and Nina just having like a nice loving couple moment. Lovey-dovey shit that makes me feel lonely. Then all of a sudden this man with a gun just appears in their house and starts asking him about the keys. He's like, tell me, where's the Omega key? Tell me about the keys. Tell me about Key House. All of this stuff. Just like pumping your head full of mysteries. Felt like I was gonna overdose on curiosity, man. And just like from Tyler's perspective, that would have been the most heartbreaking thing ever. I was about to say that he probably had the worst deal of the lot of them, but at the same time, they all equally had a horrific fucking time. And because of it, each of them developed different traumas. Like, Tyler was a lot more broody and in on himself and very like snappy and angry at times because he felt helpless. He tried his best to help his dad and he couldn't do it. Kenzie is paralyzed by fear because of what happened, and she also has a lot of self-doubt because she feels responsible for it because she didn't pick up the fire poker to attack Sam. And Nina just got hit with a whole bunch of shit. But like, even just finding out the whole mystery as to why Sam was doing what he was doing, and like the whole thing with Dodge, it was just so fucking interesting. It felt like the entire show felt like they knew where they were going from the very first shot, because everything had a purpose. You see Sam with the Omega tattoo on his arm, but like you wouldn't be drawn to it because Nina doesn't start thinking about it until a little later. It was just really fucking entertaining. It was fun. It subverted my expectations a lot. Like the kids having fun and enjoying the magic keys was so fucking entertaining to watch, and like seeing them find new ones and seeing what they did. I don't think there was a single key that was boring to me. My personal fucking favorite, the head key. The head key is so fucking cool. I wish I had access to something like that. That is fucking sick. Like even the first scene when you see Bodhi first use it, like the tensions are kind of high. You think that it's a bad thing. You see his body just like limp, and then you see him going into a fucking box. Like I thought it was going to be like a bad thing, like the mirror where he's just gonna get trapped. But just to see that it's actually his head, and he's going around showing like Kinsey and Tyler inside his head, talking about the memories and stuff, and like even just throughout the show, going into everyone's head was just so entertaining for me. And probably my favorite moment, one of my favorite moments with the head key anyway, was I think it was the end of season 2, when Nina was just getting overwhelmed with stuff because she was trying to figure out this mystery with Sam. And then Bodhi, after hearing all of this, is like, let me show you something. Fucking puts the key in the back of her neck, which is crazy. And they go through her memories, and she starts looking at old memories of her and her husband, which is fucking so wholesome, and that made me feel so good. And I was so worried that he was going to show her this and then not use the memory key on her. That's how you know a show is written well, when I am worried for the well-being of a fake person. And not just like physical well-being, mental well-being. Dodge was such a cool fucking villain. She was really fucking entertaining. And god damn, fucking hell, these show writers really know how to keep a man's eyes on the screen, that's for fucking sure. But Dodge was like a great villain. She was menacing. I don't know whether to call her a she or a he. She was menacing, she was smart, she was outsmarting every character. And just the whole backstory with like the Echo Key as well. The fact that, God, I can't remember her name now. I'm so bad with names. Ellie. That's the one. When Ellie goes and uses the Echo Key at the well, calling back her lost lover, who did in fact come back as the age that he died, so about like 17 or something, which we're not going to talk about that. But instead of bringing back just that person, they actually brought back the demon inside as well, Dodge. That was just so cool, you know? Like, it was just so entertaining to me. But my guy, when he gets the crown, like Dodge, when Dodge gets the fucking crown, that shit is hard. That is so cool. And the song as well that they play is like, you should see me in a crown. Oh, so cool. Man, I feel like a little teenage girl. I feel like I'm about to like start writing fanfics and shit. But like at the end of the fight at season 1, where Dodge has the crown and she's attacking the Locks, after Bodhi like stabs that shadow figure of her and you see her at the bottom of the stairs, I knew something was up when she was just lying there, but she had no crown on. And don't get me wrong, there was a moment where I was like, that's probably Ellie as Dodge, you know? Like, they used the fucking transfiguration key or whatever it's called. But I instantly threw that thought out because I'm like, oh, that's not that type of show. There's no way they're just gonna like sacrifice an innocent character for, you know, the lols. But fuck me, I was wrong. And I feel like that is the exact moment that I knew I was going to love this fucking show, because they weren't afraid to do that. But not only does that like make the stakes a lot higher, it also makes Dodge as a villain much worse. Man, the part that got me actually gasping, I couldn't believe my fucking eyes, was when we find out that Gabe was also Dodge. Gabe has been there from the fucking start. Like, that is crazy. And I'm already talking for a bit too long here, so I won't keep this too much longer. I just want to fucking glaze this show as much as I can. And in season 2, I had like one of the most like back and forth moments in my head ever, because I put myself in the character's shoes, and that's Tyler. Tyler ends up getting with Jackie, and they go through all these magical adventures. He shows her the head key, he shows her all of these things, but her 18th birthday is coming up, so she's starting slowly but surely to forget about magic. So that starts like the fucking quest to find the memory key. And after finally getting it, giving Duncan his memories back, which was a very satisfying moment for me, and he finally has the opportunity to give his girlfriend back the memories of magic, and she says no, she doesn't want to remember it if it brings good and bad. So that was like a very like, do you like go by her wishes even though she doesn't fully remember everything, or do you just go ahead and give her the memories back, which it could make her hate you, you know? And I am going somewhere with this, because like I really like the relationship between Jackie and Tyler. I actually really like that one. It's probably one of my favorites in the show, other than Kenzie and the director guy. But when Dodge gets the creation key, or the beast key, or whatever it's called, that turns people into demons, Tyler has epiphany to create a new key that counteracts that key. And they had a whole montage. It took like a whole like nearly full episode to make this key. So I was thinking, there's no way it's not gonna work, you know? They wouldn't put this much like emphasis on it if it didn't. So he meets up with Jackie, who is now a demon, and Tyler does it. He sticks the key in her back. She becomes human again. I was fucking delighted. I was ecstatic. Only for it to be ruined. She starts bleeding from her eyes and shit, and then she just dies. Like, what the fuck? After all of that time with the key, seeing Tyler make this key for this sole fucking purpose, only for him to kill her because he used the key. That is fucking dark, man. And like just watching Tyler like kind of like in disbelief on the ground, screaming and crying, it kind of reminded me of that scene out of The Amazing Spider-Man with Gwen. Like that was heartbreaking. That was another scene that I seen and I was like, I can't believe they actually went that far. Now, the last season I really enjoyed. Don't get me wrong, I thought it was pretty cool. And the ending was really fucking heartwarming. But I don't know how these characters done it. I don't understand. How the fuck did these characters bring themselves to relieve themselves of all of the keys after everything they've been through to protect them? If I had like access to magical keys, like I feel like Bodhi's the only one in the show that actually like feels the same sentiment as me. It's like, why would we get rid of these? Like, why would we get rid of magic? Like, obviously it is to close the giant gaping portal under their dining table, you know? But that is like a really hard decision that I don't think I would have had the strength to make. And last but not least, I want to talk about the wholesome fucking moment at the end, which is using the time key to go back in time and see his dad. And my fucking god, my emotions were all over the place at this fucking scene. I can understand them to a degree, like the pain anyway, because of the fact that my mother also passed away. Obviously my mother was not shot or murdered or anything. Like it was a bit of a tragic event as well, but like it was nothing to that degree. But this hit. Because if I had a fucking time key, like most of you that are watching this video, if you've lost a parent or a loved one, you would do the exact same thing. And I cried. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like full on fucking blubber or anything, like I teared up a lot. Just seeing them get like to reconnect and like talk to their dad and stuff for a one final time, a one final goodbye. At least they actually got to say goodbye this time. Telling them all the stories of them finding the keys and all their adventures with the keys and what they have to do with them now and all of it. It was so fucking heartwarming, man. But I love the fact that it came full circle in the end. They started this journey by trying to figure out what the keys had to do with their father's death, only to end it by going back in time with one of the keys to spend the day with their father and tell them about all their adventures. But I had a really fucking good time with this show. I had a lot of fun watching it, watching all the adventures, imagining myself as a kid if I ever found shit like this. The drama was very good, the fucking acting was great, the plot twists were amazing, the story in general was amazing. I just really fucking liked it. It was so good. Something about it, just the tone of the show and the overall feel of it just felt good to me. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, let me know down below. Let me know anything that I can do to improve the videos for you lot going forward. If you're new here and you like my face, make sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 1K by the end of the year. And if we get there, I'm going to be jumping out of a plane and bringing you all along for the ride. And yeah, with that all said, it's been EXO, and I'll talk to you all later. Have a good one, folks.